So, a lot of stuff going on in the world still. Haven't made a video in about a couple of weeks maybe. So first thing I want to say is still, we want to see them Epstein files. Yeah, all over there trying to invade Venezuela. You're taking over oil tankers. Because what the United States is trying to do is provoke them to do something. So then we can say this is why we did this. But I'm not going to do this video about that. I want to talk about what most people in the black community is talking about. And even on some sports networks. And it's the Michigan coach. Do you all realize that regardless of what this man has done, that he has a wife and 3 young daughters at home? And the best thing that y'all can come on here and do is talk about how he did this with a white woman. Why black men are always leaving for white women. I think it's low-hanging fruit. Because if that's the case, what did Bill Clinton do? The most powerful man, then y'all trying to talk about what the girl looks like. The supposedly most powerful man in the whole world was getting a blowjob in the Oval Office by somebody who wasn't that attractive. But she was just younger than he was. Due to the society that we live in, whether it's good to say or sad to say, most men are only as faithful as their options. Do you understand? And most women date resources. That's all it is. So, you give a man means to resources, which then gives him more options. That's why you see athletes in marriages or coaches or famous people always getting divorced because they have resources, which then gives them more options. This man was making $5 million a year. He's on TV during football season, college football season, a whole lot. Michigan is a football and basketball school, one of the biggest schools as far as notoriety in the country. Notoriety. I can't even say that word. I'm going to leave it alone. In the country. So he's famous on that campus. So then y'all talking like he was dating somebody that was a student. The woman was 32 and he's 39. Or she wasn't that good looking. To who? And to who could you call good looking? You see these people who are on podcasts, especially. You don't see it too much on the sports shows. But it was a couple of podcasts that I was watching, and they was trying to talk about what the woman looks like. Here's the kicker to most famous men and athletes. These, and even like people in government, these are not good looking people. They get the women they get of high quality as far as looks are concerned. Because I don't consider them high quality because they're dating resources. Because these same guys wasn't famous and they wasn't athletes, they wouldn't turn their heads at these dudes. Look at some of the athletes. Look at their wives. Tyreek Hill got 11 kids. He was married and still was cheating on his wife and getting women pregnant. He has 11 kids. Take that football uniform off of Tyreek Hill and just put a camera on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill ain't walking up to no woman. The women that he's getting pregnant and the women that you can link him to, they're not saying one word to this dude. And yes, I'm judging men. We're not pausing none of this. The Clippers owner. The woman that he was dating, she wasn't all, she wasn't even all that, period. But for an 80-year-old man, most 80, but she ain't talking to him or even having sex with him. Bill Bella, the list goes on and on and on. So don't keep coming on these podcasts, kicking this man back in. This man has kids at home. He might be going to jail because whatever happened for the woman to tell on him after he bumped up her salary and all this other stuff, what is there to say? Was it a bad decision? Of course it was. But again, most people don't have those life experiences. A lot of people. I was having this conversation with somebody. There's a lot of people in this society don't know what it's like to turn somebody down. You get where I'm going with this? There's not a lot of people in this society that people can call ugly. You on both sides of the fence. So even 50 Cent said when he first came out that his money gave him a facelift. He's telling the truth. No disrespect, but he ain't no good looking dude. He ain't the ugliest person in the world. But again, he has money. He has resources. And that changes everything for women. It goes all the way back to the Roman days and what women date and how they date. They're not selling their kids off for, farmland and status anymore, but women are still dating for status. Like, even in my situation, can you imagine if you were a married man and I ain't nowhere near rich? Shit, I'm poor. And you found out that your Colombian wife was cheating on you with a nigga in a wheelchair. I'm laughing now, but I could have died behind. Well, not me. The person could have died behind that. But you know how demoralizing that probably felt or feels? So we can get on here and say what we won't do. But if you're not in the situation, you don't know what you would do. You don't know that man's life. All you do know is that he cheated on somebody and it was consensual. And whatever transpired, she got an attitude. And you got to ask yourself, again, with resources. So if he was sleeping with her, and she knew he was married, so she got some responsibility behind this too. And then if he going on OnlyFans, he got his pick of the litter because he can pay for it. And now she got an attitude because she played out. And that's what a lot of these women don't understand, people with money and resources. You hot for a minute. You hot for a minute. Then you fizzle out. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep saying this, and I don't care how many feathers ruffles. Women, this is just a fact. And no disrespect. You all have an expiration date. We all get older. And we all age. You all just do a little more faster than we do. And again, we may age, but if we have a lot of resources, we can get the younger ones. Because it's society. That's all it is. So you gotta relax. LeBron James ain't a great. I can go on. Just do me a favor. If you got time, Google athletes. Look who Megan Good's dating. This is one of the finest women on this planet. Look who her husband is. No disrespect. Look who her husband is. And he famous. But that nigga looked like his face was made with Gorilla cookies. Fred Sanford reference. So, we got to understand that. Everybody ain't as attractive as we would like them to think. You see it all day, even at the gym. There's this girl at the gym. She's of a different nationality. She was coming in the gym, and I saw her every now and then. But I didn't speak to her because I do my best not to go over and start talking to women at the gym. Out the blue. If they approach me and then spark a conversation, that's what I do. But I do my best not to do that because I'm not looking for friends. Now, we end up talking in whatever way, you help me with something, this and that. And we talk and have a conversation that's okay, and then I may see you and talk to you or whatever. But for the most, I'm not looking for any female friends. I'm a grown man. What grown heterosexual man you think out here looking for new female friends? It's asinine. But women are so full of themselves these days. And again, no disrespect. That they think they can just do things and say things and garner all the attention that they want. But then when a full court press is put on, they want to act all, well then don't engage. And don't engage with me. There's a bunch of other people around here for you to engage to. You looking at me because I'm in a wheelchair and you thinking, oh, and yes, I think I'm very handsome. Fuck what you're talking about. And I'm funny. Hysterical, I might say. With a lot of charisma. But that's besides the point. But don't come and talk to me because you think I'm safe. Because I'm not. It's an ocean out there. Full of sharks. And just because my fin is broken, I'm still a fucking shark. I can only imagine sometimes I say to myself, if I was still up walking around. Like I'm 6'2", 6'3", point guard, NBA stuff. If I was still up walking around, ain't no telling how many kids I would have. I'm not saying I was the best looking person in the world, but I was a 3-sport athlete. Most of my height was in my legs. This is stuff that people used to tell me all the time. And I'm still the same person, personality-wise. Probably a little more tame. Well, I don't know. A lot of people say I'm crazy. But we have to understand, and we can't just go around kicking in our African men's back because they cheated, and then because it was with a white girl or a white woman or whatever. At the end of the day, man, we are all human beings. A rose comes in many different colors, but at the end of the day, it's a rose. Get off these podcasts because it's something to talk about. We don't know what y'all done did underneath the covers. We didn't know all this stuff about Diddy, and like even that whole situation. Man, who cares? If you out here eating ass, I think you are crazy. That you would take your face and put it in somebody's butt. That's gross. But you think you trying to make that normal, and you would make me want to think that, oh, you don't do that? No, I don't do that. Stop taking y'all sexual cues from fucking porn. It's porn. They do everything in porn. Most of them men in porn are probably gay, and on top of that, that ain't what you supposed to be taking home. If you want to do something to a woman in her butt, I think you are insane. And if a woman wants that done to her, I think that is crazy. That is insane to me. That's not something I would ever want to do. So just let us stop and just rest a minute This man, y'all were trying to make fun of him because he was picking up butter knives. He was distraught. You don't know what you do in a situation where you lost your job, you lost all this money, and now in a whole world is talking about it. Who cares if he was trying to pick up a butter knife or whatever? That man was distraught. The fact that she told, he went back home to his wife. I didn't know she had told until I found out today. So now I know why he went over and kicked her door in. He was mad, like, what is you doing? But what she didn't realize is that she had an expiration date. If I got you, and you right here, now I can go on Instagram and OnlyFans, and some of these girls are dime pieces. Well, I got the money and the resources to pay for this. You got an attitude? Nah, I got an attitude.